Thanks both of you guys for joining me, Dr. Mohr and also Drew. Tell me a little bit about, first off, why you guys are here, why you're partnered together, Drew, and how you're preparing for the upcoming season.
Yeah, so I'm lucky enough to be, have a partner, a great partner in Now Foods. They take care of all my supplement needs, all my protein needs, really a one-stop shop for me and my family now, which has been fantastic. So for me, I don't have to worry about, going to 9 different locations to get stuff. I have it all in one place. They've been great. I've been able to, visit them up in Chicago, look at their factory, all these kinds of different things, which has been amazing to have that, that close of a partnership. And they've been great. And they're one of the reasons I went with them was because, they had all these different products that I was able to use, that I use day to day, that I can get them all in one stop. And on top of that, the testing that they do with, they literally test every single one of their batches, their products. They're super meticulous and detailed about it. So I know when I'm taking something from them, that what is on the label is what I'm taking, and I don't have to worry about anything else. So it just gives me confidence to do what I do, to go train, to go play, to recover from a long season, from a long training day, whatever it may be. So just, trying to get the word out about how great of a company they are and what are some of the things that separate them from other companies, I think is one of the big things.
Yeah, when you spend a lot of time with athletes, Dr. Mohr, and this, you really start to understand how important it is, how meticulous they are with their bodies and making sure that the right things get in, not just for performance. And we've seen so many things shift, whether it's to a plant-based diet or anything that having to do with holistic approach in terms of health and wellness. I think Tom Brady really kind of put that on the map in terms of the NFL, but across the entire sports landscape, whether it's Olympic athletes or players in the NFL, you really get a sense that more time and effort is being spent on what they put in. How true have you found that to be?
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's spot on exactly what you said. These athletes are working hard day in and day out, and it's not just on the field that matters or in the weight room, but also what they're doing after and what they're putting in their bodies, like you said. And, one of the reasons that I've been so honored to work with Now Sports for so long now is exactly what Drew said is, when people are taking supplements or curious about taking supplements, I want them to know that what's on the label is in the product and nothing more. And again, it's really true in particular for athletes at any level because, it could be tested and they are tested many times over on a regular basis. So we need to know that, again, what's on the label is in the product. There's no contaminants. And that's exactly why what Now Sports does so well is their products are clean from contaminants. They do over 16,000 tests per month on their line of supplements, which is unheard of. And Drew and I have both been to their facility. We were just there not that long ago, actually, just to see it firsthand is impressive, to say the least.
And I think with social media too, Drew, from the outside, fans, whoever it may be, are really getting a sense of all the work that you guys put in the offseason now and the way that you guys take care of your bodies from start to finish. And I think more than ever before, we feel like we have a peek behind the curtain or some kind of access into what it takes to be, an elite athlete. And so whether it's somebody that's kind of sitting on the couch on the weekends most days, but loves to stay fit. I mean, when you think about what's a priority for you in terms of your nutrition in season, off season, and especially related to supplements, because you're here on behalf of this company, for an NFL player, what do they really need? Where's your focus?
Yeah, so I think 2 parts to that. I mean, obviously during season is a big one, making sure that I'm, getting enough food, I'm fueling my body to go out and play on Sundays, and then fueling myself, taking my supplements, my protein to then recover from that. We're constantly building it up and breaking it down. And so having good, clean, food, but also supplementing, whatever you're not getting in your food. And on top of that, protein intake, all these different things, your protein, carbs, and fats, making sure that, like I said, we're tearing down our bodies every Sunday during the weekend practice, trying to have as much of recovery that we can helps me play better on the field. And then the off season, more so than, last year we had one of the longest season ever, going from that, getting your body recovered, then transitioning straight into training, trying to, get bigger, faster, stronger, trying to train, having, getting your conditioning, all these different things. Having, for me, these last 2 years, having kind of that routine and that rock in Now Foods, knowing where I'm getting my supplements, knowing it's clean, knowing it's high quality stuff, going into my body has been really important for me. And I think it's cool, like you said, with social media, you kind of get a peek behind the curtain of, because 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, you didn't really, there was a lot less out there. And so for me, that's why it's so special to partner with now, is because I believe in it. I use these products every day. I've seen the benefits it's had for me. And so if people are looking for something, whether it's you're a beginner or to a, Olympic athlete, that, these products are for everyone, and they're held to such a high standard, I think. And so it's easy for me. It's easy for me to say, because I use them. I do it. I've seen it firsthand, like Chris said. So it's a pretty cool partnership.
And you really get a sense too, Dr. Mohr, of how much a routine matters, not only in diet, but also in physical activity for athletes. Athletes that retire sometimes, whether they drop 50 pounds immediately, they gain 50 pounds immediately. I mean, they're used to that structure. I always think about my buddy who's a journeyman offensive lineman, Ross Tucker, who I always bump into from time to time. And we always talk about that the structure that athletes get is so important. And when you talk to players at other positions as well, not just tight end, like even a running back, for example, the way that their bodies are put to use during the week and especially on the weekends, I mean, to put all that back together, how much respect and admiration do you have, doctor, for just the way that the human body, athletes' bodies are able to respond to what they go through?
Yeah, it's really amazing how resilient we are. But again, it's not just, if I go out and I'm working so hard day in and day out, I need to put that focus on sleep, on nutrition, on recovery techniques, in addition to what's just happening on the field. So we're able to come back, as Drew said, bigger, stronger, faster, whatever the position may be, whatever your needs might be. You want to make sure you're able to, for the entire season, and not even just the whole season, but every quarter of the game, right? That you're able to perform, feel your best, and continue. It comes fourth quarter, you're not dragging because you're not hydrated properly or you're not fueled properly. So what you put in your body is absolutely what you're going to get out.
And I do want to focus in on a couple of Bengals specific questions, but before we do that, just to kind of punctuate everything with you, Dr. Mohr, what's the biggest takeaway? What would you want people to know about the importance of supplements, the importance of this company? I think sometimes supplements in particular for the average Joe can be a little bit daunting or overwhelming. There's so much out there, and you don't know how the body absorbs what and what you should be taking. And of course, I'm sure it's specific to each individual, but what would you tell somebody watching this about how they can take small steps to improve their health overall, if that's something that they're looking to do?
Yeah, I think what you said is very important. Just look at those small steps, right? Most of us are not in the NFL or whatever at an elite level. That said, we all can be athletes in some sense. We're just going to the gym and working out for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. We still need to put the right things into our body. And that's obviously quality nutrition, and the complement are quality supplements. And that's exactly what Now Sports does, is it provides those quality supplements. So, a basic like a multivitamin or a basic like protein, we can all benefit from on a regular basis. And Now Sports has a whole slew of other products as well. But we know that they also provide those basics, again, complementing the quality nutrition that we also need to focus on.
And Drew, for you specifically, I mean, you talk about preparation and how important it is heading into every season, but you have an opportunity here with CJ's departure to really make an impact. I mean, how ready are you to start to embrace that role, to really fight for your chance to get minutes on the field this upcoming season?
Yeah, CJ was great. Obviously, he was a great player, and he was a leader in our locker room. And I'm happy that he was able to, go get the contract that he did. But, I want our team to go, and I want our team to win more games. And so however I can help in that sense, in all aspects of the game, being an all-around tight end, I think is exciting for me. In my fourth year now, I feel very comfortable. I've got a lot of reps. I've played in the Super Bowl. I've played in the AFC Championship game. So, for me, the game has started to slow down, and I think that's, important. My confidence is up. Everything is doing good. And so, this offseason was a great offseason for me. I feel like I've been really dialed in, in all aspects, like we talked about, with nutrition, with working out, with recovery, sleep, things like that. And so, I know I'm excited for the season. I know our team is, because, we really have unfinished business. We had a great run. We were AFC champions, but we didn't quite, take it all the way. And I think guys are hungry to kind of, they know the talent that we have, they know the type of team we can be and the players we have. So I think, guys are excited to get back to it and kind of finish the job this year.
And what's the approach as it relates to the Super Bowl? Are you guys collectively using that as motivation? Is it something that you guys are trying to put to the side and focus on next season? What's the approach there?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a clean slate for us, the further you get in the off season, you kind of put those things behind you. Obviously, it was great memories, they'll last forever. But, who are we going to be this year? And, everyone's 0-0. So I think we're excited about just, taking it day by day, starting with camp. Guys are excited to get into camp, to get into preseason, to get into that first regular season game, and just taking it game by game, because the NFL is so tough. There's so many good teams and players. If you start looking ahead, that's where, you guys get in trouble. So we just, we focus on what we can control as a team, as an offense, as a position, as a player. And I think, that's kind of what we were able to do last year. And the result ended up working out well for us to a point. So, I think the big picture, though, is, that's the standard. We know we're talented to get there. So that's obviously the end goal. But, there's obviously a long process to that. I think we're focused on that process.
And as you guys do start to establish whatever your identity this season is going to be, I mean, it certainly wouldn't be a bad thing to continue the momentum, the upward trends that we've seen. Your quarterback had a phenomenal season. It seems like offensively you guys have a number of positions that are really dialed in and ready to go. But what were some big picture takeaways from the offseason so far that you're going to, bring into this year's regular season?
Yeah, I think obviously, you look at all the good stuff we did, but then, you also have to break down some of the not so good stuff, right? It's all about, reflection and where, objectively, where can we get better as a team, as an offense, offense, defense, special teams. So there was definitely some things we looked at as an offense that we felt like we can get better at and can continue to push us, to be one of the top units in the league. And, that will lead to the success that we want. So I think it's important to reflect on those things, not just the good, but also the, the not so good and the bad. And so, and I think everyone's very much on the same page with that as everyone's trying to get better. We're trying to learn from our mistakes and grow and get better. And that's part of it.
You mentioned the game slowing down a little bit, a key experience that you now have under your belt with a number of seasons in the league under your belt. When you look at your personal performance and what you could potentially be tasked with this upcoming season, I mean, for Bengals fans that are watching this, where specifically do you feel like you can get better, or where are you putting your focus?
Yeah, I think for me, just being a tight end and being, the versatile player that I am, I feel like I'm able to do a lot of different things, whether that's, pass catching, blocking, pass blocking, whatever it may be. I've done a little bit of it all, my first 3 years. And so, whatever that role turns into, I know that I'm ready for it and I'm excited about it because, we have a lot of weapons on our offense. We have a lot of good receivers. Both Joes are fantastic players. So, there's going to be definitely, space for us tight ends. And, I'm excited about the opportunity. I know the type of team that we can be. So I'm excited for it, for sure.
And no reason to think, Drew, that you guys can't have a run similar to the one that we just saw with all the pieces that you have in place, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan. We want to go back to the Super Bowl and we want to win it. We know that there's 31 other teams that have that same goal, but, we have that confidence within ourselves and the players that we have that we're capable of doing it. And I think, guys are excited, but also, Zach does a good job of keeping us, everyone's got to start fresh. And so we're starting fresh. We're starting fresh with camp, with preseason, taking it day by day. I think, guys are just excited to get going soon.
Yeah, just lastly, I won't keep you guys too much longer, but you certainly collectively are not sneaking up on anybody this time around with how well you guys did last year. That's not a bad thing, right? But it certainly comes with, it's going to be a different kind of experience, for you guys, I think, just with how blown away everybody was by what you guys were able to do last year. So in terms of mental approach and preparation, being excited about the off season, how does this summer feel different for you guys than maybe even last summer?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is, we have that confidence in ourselves. We know we're a good team. We didn't, obviously the previous couple of years, we didn't win a lot of games. We have a lot of new guys in, a lot of really good players. And I think everyone is on the same page. It's like, we got the guys to do it. We just need to go do it on the field. Like you said, we're not going to surprise anyone, which, that's what you want. You want to get everyone's best shot. You want to, play the best teams. You want to go out there and prove yourself that, you're the best team, the best offense, the best player, whatever it is. That's the competition part that why everyone loves football. And so it's exciting for us. We know we got the guys in the room to do it. We just have to go do it.
I did just want to ask you one last thing, Drew, before I let you go. And I realize this is a little bit out of left field, but when I was reading about you and kind of some of the things that you were caring about this offseason, I did notice that you've been pretty public about trying to get some family out of Ukraine with the way that that the war continues to ravage that area. What is the latest with that? You have family there. Are they okay? Is that an effort that is ongoing for you and your family?
Yeah. So yeah, my wife's family's out there, which is my family. And so, we were able to get one of her cousins out here living with her parents. A lot of her family is still back there. They're in a okay spot considering, everything that's going on just as far as where their city is and stuff. But yeah, it's something ongoing where we're, still in communication with them. We're still going through a few, different channels to see some different options. So, obviously we had the great run, and then there were some things, just life-wise that everything gets put in perspective on, kind of a world and human scale. So, it was definitely hard to see that because, that's our family, and there was a lot of unknown with that. But thankfully we've been able to stay connected with them, and we've been able to, help them out in ways that we can. But it's still ongoing, and like I said, they're in an okay spot, kind of considering everything that's going on. So we're continuing to, monitor it and be in contact with them about everything.
Well, that's good to hear. And I realize that the conversation kind of ran the gamut from point A all the way to point Z. So I appreciate you guys kind of pinging and ponging. And Dr. Mohr, I really appreciate your insight as well. It sounds like these now products are something that a lot of people have a lot of interest in, because I know more than ever before, especially with the pandemic, everybody is kind of laser focused on social media and figuring out the best way to keep their minds and bodies physically healthy. And I'm sure supplements play a huge role in that. So thank you guys both for being with us. And Drew, best of luck to you and the team this upcoming season. It's going to be exciting. I have a feeling. We look forward to watching you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.